Humanity once prayed for ease. We longed for a life where survival did not consume all our strength, where knowledge could be gathered faster, communication could cross any distance, and time could be freed so we could truly live. We dreamed of convenience as a doorway to peace, and technology answered. But what we did not foresee was this: when life becomes effortless on the outside, the inner world often grows restless. Today, we live in an age of instant access, information, food, entertainment, connection, validation. Everything arrives quickly, quietly, without struggle. And yet fulfillment feels distant. Not because we lack abundance, but because abundance without meaning leaves the soul unsatisfied. There is little challenge left. Nothing to press against us, shape us, or call forth our deeper strength. Without meaningful struggle, growth weakens. A deeply materialistic lifestyle has quietly reshaped our inner world. When worth is measured by possessions, status, and appearance, the ego grows louder. Comparison becomes constant. Jealousy replaces contentment. Greed disguises itself as ambition. Impatience becomes normal. Anger rises easily. Fraud and dishonesty begin to feel justified in a system that rewards outcomes over integrity. When everything is about having more, being seen more, and achieving faster, character becomes negotiable. At the same time, culture itself is slowly thinning. Respect for one's motherland, mother tongue, and ancestral traditions is fading. What once rooted people in identity and belonging is now questioned, mocked, or dismissed as outdated. Sacred customs are reduced to content. Ancient wisdom is debated by those who have never lived its depth. Religious beliefs, once held with reverence, are increasingly treated as ignorance. Faith is scrutinized through only one lens, logic, while its purpose was never to compete with science, but to guide the soul. God is questioned not with humility, but with arrogance, as though mystery itself must be proven to be worthy of respect. Science explains how the universe functions. Faith asks why we are here. When one is used to erase the other, humanity loses balance. There is a sacred rhythm to life that cannot be rushed without consequence. Wisdom was once earned slowly, through observation, patience, elders, rituals, and lived experience. Now we are exposed to knowledge, images, and realities far earlier than our emotional and spiritual maturity can carry. We know too much, too soon. We see before we are rooted. The result is not wisdom, but fragmentation. Children learn from screens before they learn from parents. Algorithms replace storytelling. Speed replaces discernment. What once required mentorship, silence, and devotion is now consumed instantly, without grounding or soul. Food arrives without soil on our hands. Clothing arrives without knowing who made it. Essentials appear at our doors without effort, gratitude, or awareness. Because replacement is easy, waste becomes normal. Because time feels unlimited, we spend it carelessly, until one day we realize it has quietly passed us by. Hard work is no longer honored as a teacher. Struggle is labeled failure instead of formation. Waiting is treated as inefficiency instead of preparation. Yet the deepest virtues, humility, patience, honesty, compassion, faith, are formed only through endurance and restraint. And when someone speaks of God, the universe, prayer, inner healing, wisdom, or soul purpose, they are often dismissed as strange. In a world that worships productivity and speed, spiritual depth feels uncomfortable. Stillness feels threatening. Reverence feels unnecessary. Yet something within us remembers. This is why so many hearts are drawn to places where life remains honest, where people rise with the sun, honor their land, speak their mother tongue with pride, respect elders, and preserve traditions not out of obligation but gratitude. Where vegetables are allowed to grow in their own time, and patience is not optional but essential. Where machines have not replaced meaning, and effort still carries dignity. In these places time slows, and in slowing it teaches. Work becomes devotion. Waiting becomes wisdom. Tradition becomes identity. Faith becomes grounding. Spiritual growth, like agriculture, cannot be rushed. Healing has seasons. Purpose unfolds. It does not arrive in a package. God, however one understands the divine, moves in stillness, not urgency. The universe whispers before it shouts. The soul matures through experience, not shortcuts. Perhaps we were never meant to eliminate hardship, only to grow through it. Perhaps convenience was meant to serve life, not replace engagement with it. Perhaps boredom is not a flaw, but a signal, a quiet call back to depth. This is not a rejection of progress. It is a call for balance. A balance between science and faith, between speed and patience, between modernity and tradition, between knowing and reverence. An invitation to slow down where you can, to honor your roots, to respect your language, land, and lineage, to live honestly, to choose integrity over image, to sit in silence long enough to hear your inner voice, to pray for wisdom instead of speed, to trust timing instead of control, because the soul does not awaken through ease alone. It awakens through meaning, through humility, through truth. And maybe life was never meant to be easy, but sacred,